Alright. Time to commit rebellious acts of sedition. Ugh. Starting with the destruction of public property. And you know, I imagine somebody put in that elevator as a manner of convenience. Because the place we gotta blow up is conveniently very close by. Oh, and kiddos, don't cross the street in the middle of traffic. It's a really bad idea. Now, we're going to come and investigate this bizarre switch here, which is very clearly a switch. Because if you interact with it, your character responds by saying, if you don't know what it is, don't touch it. Even though we've been touching a lot of things that we don't know what it is. Keep that in mind. Also, this mecha guard here will not stop us from entering. Alright. So, once more under the fold. God, you know, why isn't anything else in the game, or in this area, have architecture like that on the upper walls? So strange. The docks must lead to the pillars of the bridge. Alright, this will take me a couple of tries, because I'm trying to do the, there, come from the side. What? Just might be the perfect camouflage for me to finish my mission. So, you can possess this guy if you wish, and it is a little goofy, because you'll see a bunch of animations go off, but the enemies will then go stock still. But we're not going to do that, because this guy's actually a terrible body. And I'll explain in a minute that it doesn't matter whether or not you do that. Boy, that locked gate sure stopped us. The docks are a high security zone. The only access to the back is guarded by 2 mecha guards. Don't even think of forcing it out. I might be able to create a diversion with the help of the crane's control levers. Let's go. There's no time to lose. Sorry, yet another first-person shooter segment. But it does free up some time for me to kind of preface something that'll be kind of a thorn in the side of a number of people, especially in relation to adventure games. So, the thing that makes people hate adventure games, I say this in reference to classical adventure games. A lot of the things that make people hate them, and Omikron is the rule, not an exception to this, is that oftentimes people, you basically hear this phrase a lot, and that is, it's one of 2 variations. Either A, it's how on earth was I supposed to know to do that? As in there's no clues, or the clues you get are contradictory to what it wants you to do. The game, that is. Either I don't know what to do, how was I supposed to know how to do that? Or the second version, which is actually my favorite, which is, this has a really, really simple solution. Oh, by the way, we activated that switch, even though there was no animation to indicate that we did that. Great! Nice audio-visual feedback. Anywho. The second one, which is by far my more favored of the two, which is extremely simple task is made ridiculously complicated. Not because it has to be, but because the game demands it. This scenario here is a keen example of that. Because we're going through this docks area. It's a very important area, as you can see. All these crates of... I don't know what's in them. But we're going to use this crane. What are we going to use it for? I don't know. So we had to activate a switch to activate another switch. Not to control the crane, but to close that gate. So that we can blow up the crane... And even though there was a massive gun battle, that is the thing that makes the mecha guards wake up and move away from the gate, so now we can pass them. Directly behind them, mind you. And now the gate's unlocked. By the by, if you try to just rush that gate, the mecha guards don't stop you. Much like all the other mecha guards in the game. They don't stop you, but the gate's locked. So, okay. And then you find out, in another wonderful, wonderful moment, the only reason we did that is to lower this platform. And then you'll find out, in another twist of events, that it's all in service of getting to this gondola system of raft all you have to do is ask this one simple question, and that is this. What is the purpose of these gondolas outside of this video game puzzle? What is this thing's purpose? And no, that jump in the water was intentional. Because... in order to sequence this properly, you have to swim over here, and raise this platform. And hey, look where we are. Hey, you remember this switch that we didn't touch? Because we don't know what it is, right? Well, we better not touch it now. Oh, wait, now we can touch it. Oh, by the way, mother of all speedrun sequence breaks is being able to jump on that platform. Either that or I've got another idea for a skip. But anyway... why is this one down here? This one only could... But this one only controls this gondola platform thing to rise. What's the purpose of this one that we're currently next to? Because the only one that we can move is this one here. So we just killed a whole bunch of people... probably just doing their jobs. I mean, they're guards, right? They're cops, basically. No, well, mall cops. Security officers. But we just killed all of them just to move that concrete platform down a notch. And even then, even beyond this whole complicated gondola platform thing and we're going through the docks, why can't we just, oh, I don't know, climb down here? It's so needlessly complicated. So you get 5 seconds. You must jump in the water. And then you look at the bomb explosion. You could have just left that in the middle of the bridge and it would have accomplished that. Because there's only one support. And that is your example of why people did not like classic adventure games. Simple tasks with obvious solutions made needlessly complicated. But let's report to Namtar that our terrorist act was successful. I mean, our resistance act. Hey, buddy.
Congratulations. Your mission was a complete success. The police arms supply will now be seriously affected. You must feel like a rescue.
Because those are the only supply docks on Omikron. Give me another mission.
Legatee Reshev uses Transcan to transmit his lies to the population. He manipulates information and puts consciences to sleep with his programs. We have decided to use his own weapon against him. We want to transmit a pirate message through Transcan to promote the cause of the Awakened.
Well, okay then. What must I do?
First, go to Zone 9 and find the bookshop. One of our friends awaits you there. Show him the sign of the Awakened, and he will give you the pirate box. Then, go to Zone 22 and find a way of getting onto the roofs. Jenna will help you in the mission. Dismissed.
No, she won't be helping us at all. Spoiler alert. In fact, if you go to her room right now, you actually can't even talk to her. Oh, but before we leave, it's something I forgot to mention. You're going to want to pick this up. Oh, we'll need it later. And after briefly pondering whether or not to throw it in the item box, I'll hold on to it. Alright, back up the elevator. Because we're actually going to be going to, we're going to be taking another, it's early, alright. I haven't had coffee yet. I really need to go get some. I had strep throat too. It's been awful. But thank Lord Heaven Almighty for modern medicine and antibiotics. Anywho, we're going to be taking a familiar route. Because there's only one side of Jaunpur that you actually visit. Ironically enough, or is it irony? I don't know. Wasted potential, I guess. Yeah, it's just wasted space overall. Wasted development. There's actually a whole lot of stuff in Jaunpur. You can go to some apartment complexes that have some really interesting, or to me anyway, for the time, decor and aesthetics. There's some gun shops you can visit in Jaunpur. There's another sex shop, although I don't know why you'd want to go there. There's nothing you can buy. You just go in and be weird. But here's a bookstore we need to visit. And there's one crucial item that we need to get before we do anything else. And it is Dav Idkaj poetry.
Have a nice day.
Which I will now read to you in the manner befitting. In the Alleys of Lahore by Dav Idkaj. Lost in the alleys of Lahore, I melt into the azure blue air, faceless in the milling foray, while sliders slide with awesome flare. Canal water reflects my face amid old stones long worn by time, seeking a reflection on the bridge of lace. I catch a whiff of agar and lime. I follow my steps to Jahangir, the garden of taunted lovers. The scent of flowers soothes my malangir with tales of jousts and plumed plovers. Wonderful. Truly masterful. Let's just put that right where it belongs, in the item box. Also, I don't remember when I picked up that ammo. But instead, moving on, let's go commit more acts of treason. Excuse me, do you know this talisman? Sure, just put it out there. We get the electronic unit, also known as a pirate box. Because I guess we're pirates now. Why couldn't they just... Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's resistance stuff. Go meet a friend. A friend's made the radio unit. Alright. I can dig it. No complaints there. But now we're off to... Alms for the poor. Now we're off to the rooftops of Sector 22, where we'll have yet another first-person shooter sequence. And this one's particularly infamous because it's, yet again, needlessly complicated. And oh my dear lord, we're actually using a slider again. Aye, we're not walking this time. We're just, I guess, jogging. It's like a light jog, not even a sprint. Good form, I think. I can't really tell. The animation's capped at 30 FPS. Have I talked about that? I guess now's a good time as any. It's a weird thing in that the frame rate of the game... How do I explain this? The frame rate of the game is capped at 60, but the animations of characters is locked at 30. I've never heard of that before. It's so bizarre. Down here is completely pointless aside from this guy. I just figured I'd point him out. If you want another body to possess... He doesn't look like he's in a great state, but he's tough looking. Isn't that an oxymoron? He's a tough looking... He's a tough... He's in the emergency room at a hospital, but he sure is tough looking. Or what's intensive care unit? That's what I'm thinking of. He's in the intensive care unit of a hospital, but I bet he's tough. Ah, yes. And much like the philosophy with the presentation of the sliders, David Cage, in his infinite wisdom, said, you know what? We need to make sure the player knows how their character got up there. So we're going to show the whole thing. Well, thanks. Because I would have been really confused if you didn't show us every single ladder step. Here's yet another adventure game problem. I go up to this crate. It's too heavy. Impossible to move it. And then we go over to this other crate. Oh, this one's impossible to move too. But if I go to this visually identical crate, this one we can move. Also, ignore that crate just phased through that metal gate right there. Now, we could drop down and take a bunch of health damage, but let's not. It would be faster. But again, we gotta know how our character gets down. And we should send a message to the children, you know, always take the safest route. Look at that. Ah, I teleported! But yet another adventure game trope that's actually a combination of things. How was I supposed to know to do that? You're just supposed to guess. I have to get past... The problem is I have to get past a mecha guard, right? To get into the gate. I guess, because, you know, there's no direction on where to go. It just says go to the rooftops.
Accept this modest gift. 3 interlinking rings. The first 2 will save your life. The third will bring you back here.
Thanks, Matan Caboose. But anyway, the solution is not immediately obvious, and is itself contradictory to information that you receive. I've got to locate the antenna and fix the electronic unit to it. Hey, look, there it is. Once I'm through, I'll have to find a way to get out before the alarm is sounded. What alarm? Why do you think there'd be an alarm? The roofs are a real labyrinth. Finding the antenna may not be easy. Okay. Finding the antenna is actually ridiculously easy. No, that's not to... If you have trouble finding it, I don't actually blame you, because the big problem with this area is that it actually takes advantage of the low draw distance to make a unique challenge. Mind the direction I'm facing. Ah, I turned around! I have no idea what causes that to happen. I have no idea why you just flip around like that. But if you had trouble finding it, if you actually played this game, don't sweat it. The basic gist of it is, you look for landmarks, and for me, my landmark is that triangular structure on the roof. And you make 2 jumps, and you're right there. The antenna retransmits the transcan programs all over Omikron. Really, over all of Omikron.
Wake up, people of Omikron. Reshev and his corrupt government are lulling you to sleep in order to control you better. They have transformed you into puppets that are manipulated by Ix and the demons. Join the awakened ones and rise up to fight for your freedom. Together, we can win.
Wow. Mission accomplished. Now I've got to get away off these roofs before more soldiers show up. Even though soldiers were already there. So, the whole thing of, I better leave before the imaginary alarm is sounded. Well, there are already soldiers here, and we've already just killed them. Whatever. But yes, that is the second character David Bowie plays in this game. Boz. We'll find out that he's Boz, but there he is. I wish I had more insight with the whole locating the antenna thing for people who had a hard time doing that, but it really is just as simple as if you look slightly to the left of your starting position at a diagonal, it's right there. You can't see it, but again, that's why I operate under just, you find that landmark and that's where you're going. Now, as for getting out of here, don't mind that mecha guy, by the way. He's not really going to bother us. There he goes. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I failed this first jump. Because I tried to jump to, that one. And you really should jump to a lower position, not an equal level position. Where did the mecha card go? I don't know. It's so useless. But with that, we're out of here. Oh my god! That mecha nearly reduced me to meat juice. Whew!
I observed the action from a neighboring rooftop. You did very well for a beginner.
Oh, come on! Also, thanks for the help. You sound worried. Is anything wrong?
I was a little surprised the antenna was so well defended. Soldiers appeared out of everywhere as soon as you placed the pirate box on the antenna.
There were already soldiers there. What are you talking about? So?
Nothing. I was just surprised that the antenna was so well guarded.
Oh, you mean an antenna like that? I love those little moments where you see the subtitles say something completely different. With a different meaning, too. Hey, what's up?
Your mission was a success.
Oh, good.
Our revolutionary message was broadcast on all the Transcan screens in the city. Millions of Omicronians are now aware of our struggle.
Weren't they already
But
aware?
I would have given anything to have seen Reshev's face. Get some rest now. I'll inform you when there's another mission for you.
I mean, the newspaper's already I would prefer not to go back to Kale's apartment. The police or the demons are surely waiting.
You're right. You can go to 8250 Conera Street in Jaunpur. It's one of our hiding places when agents need to lie low. Here are the keys.
Yet another classic Omikron line. Take that one out of context. That one's a wonderful one. And with that, we're finished with the, perhaps I better go back and see Dagobah, whatever. We're not going to do that. That'll be for next time. Hey, nice and sweet. We're all done with the I don't know what, the pirate missions. Next up, magic!